Hey everybody, welcome to the show. Hope you're doing great. Buckle up, strap in. We got a hard hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating, no rainbows, no sunshine. Just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Home sellers listing their homes for $1. You know, this is the sign of a real estate bubble if I've ever seen one. We're going to take a look at a Zillow listing. It's perfectly fitting that you'd find something like this on sugar-coating it Zillow. But this is just a sign of a housing bubble that clearly can't sustain itself. It's funny because we have two sides of the aisle here. The industry itself, Zillow itself, says no crash risk here. As long as there's a lack of supply, there's always going to be demand. Well, that's true. But what happens when the supply comes? Well, it's clearly knocking on the door. Why would you list your house for $1? We're going to take a look at a good one today. One of you, a subscriber. Thank you to everybody who subscribes to the channel. If you're new, please subscribe and get involved. We have a really good community here as I continue to heat map and temperature check this thing for us as an active licensed real estate agent. And with financial gain in these markets, I'm continuing to ring the bell and sound the alarm and let people know. Be very, very careful out there. One thing you have to understand, friends, is when we're looking at property, and we're doing a lot of that right now here at the show and for you guys personally, as well as just my standard clients. Every house tells a story. Every seller tells a story. Every home will be different. That's why I always say we always have to test people's level of motivation. One of my most frequent mantras is when I'm showing houses to you, or when you're looking at houses, or if you're actively looking at homes with a realtor, don't fall in love with anything you look at, because if you're writing offers, there's a good chance it might not stick. We're going to test the waters. We're going to bring people back to reality. And listen, friends, unfortunately, people still have euphoric recall from over asking and bidding wars. But that brings us back to today's featured property. We're going to take a look at a pretty funny one. I've never seen anything like it. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. It should be slightly entertaining, educational, and informative, as that's always the goal with this channel. So let's jump over and take a look at a current active listing over at Zillow for a property currently on the market for a $1. And the marketing, the description of the property, that's the barn burner on this one. But we'll explain why and what's going on there. I think many of you might already know. But this is super important and a chance to have a little fun with the property currently on the market. Let's go ahead and jump over to Zillow, take a look at a property, then we're going to meet back here, wrap this one up. Let's get started. Buckle up, strap in, roll up your windows, lock your doors, maybe even put on that face mask if you still have one. We're heading into Pontiac, Michigan. Now let's bring up our crash map, courtesy of our good friends and failed iBuyers and Ninja Loan Riders, Zillow. Everything on your screen going through the kiss of death. Price reductions. And here we go. Let's take a sneak peek around today's featured property. A pretty average looking home. No frills, but no red flags here. Maybe just a little work needed, a little TLC. Let's see what they're saying in the property description. Our property description reads, oh boy, hold on to your tool belts because we've got a doozy for you. Presenting a 2-bedroom, 1-bath, fixer-upper in the heart of Pontiac, Michigan. You heard it right. Just one George Washington can make this slice of potential paradise yours. Rumor has it that Homes for $1 guy must have just pulled a rabbit out of his hard hat again. Step inside and be prepared to marvel at the interior that might make you wonder, is that drywall dust or the latest Pontiac designer drug? Only time will tell, but don't let a little mystery discourage you. This house comes with all the charm of a home in need of a little, okay, maybe a lot, of TLC. Those hardwoods are just waiting for a spa day, or at least a good mopping to reveal their inner beauty. And that kitchen flooring, it's so drop-dead gorgeous, you might just want to host a dance-off instead of cooking. It's the kind of flooring that'll have you asking, is that the kitchen or a ballroom? Talk about potential, behold the stunning basement, perfect for storing your collection of antique rubber duckies or, you know, whatever it is that normal people store in basements. And guess what? The roof is brand spanking new. Now, let's talk security. Who needs a guard dog when you've got your very own hornet's nest? Yes, you read that right. We've strategically placed a hornet's nest on the side of the house to ensure that no pesky intruders will be making off with your half-finished DIY projects. Just imagine the awe on their faces as they flee from a swarm of bees. It's like having your own personal security team, minus the uniforms. So, if you're up for a challenge and the dream of turning a fixer-upper into a jaw-dropping masterpiece, this is the opportunity you've been waiting for. And all for just $1. Who said dreams don't come true? Disclaimer, please do not attempt to snort any substances found on the floors. We assure you, it's either dust or a DIY fairy magic. Highest and best offers due Sunday at 6 p.m. Well, at least our agent has a sense of humor. Let's get into a little more. And just after only 4 days on the market, we have a staggering 95 saves. We have a wobbly estimate of a mid-range value of approximately $89,000. We were last listed in 2011 for $12,000. Now we're on the market for $1. And with a standard amount down at today's interest rate, your approximate monthly cost to carry would be $0. With a monthly estimated rent range of over $1,100 a month. This thing's a complete cash cow. Or is it? Let's get back to the studio so we can wrap this one up. All right, friends, welcome back. There you go. Currently on the market for $1, and our sugarcoating it agent had a pretty good time. They were pretty pleased with themselves on this one, I can tell. I'm sure they were cracking up as they were writing that description. But if that's your house, are you okay with that? Possibly. If I own a bunch of houses, I'm like, yeah, I don't care if this thing sells or not. Go ahead and do whatever you want with it. Maybe. Maybe the agent owned it themselves, and so that's why they were able to get away with this. I don't know, but the realities are this is clearly the sign of a real estate bubble that can't sustain itself. Now, in the height of the buying euphoria, prior to interest rate hikes, I remember attending a sales meeting and hearing an agent very upset with this type of tactics. Because let's say here in the $1 million district, something comes on for $800,000 and it's clearly a $1 million home. Well, everybody is going to come door busting that property and it's going to get bid up. And that's exactly what they did. If you've got an active listing for $1 million and something comes on for $800,000 next to you, you're not happy. And that's what happened to one of our agents. So other listings in this area are not going to be pleased with this dollar price tag because in one sense, I always say it here at the show, whether you're renting your home to whether you have a rental or you're selling your home, find out here. This is what I do, and you can choose to do it or not. And it's hard sometimes to convince a seller or a landlord to do this. I always say, what's the best way to get people over to the house? Find out who your competition is and beat them. Now, it doesn't have to be a blatant situation like we saw here, but clearly what they're trying to do is fish for offers. They clearly didn't get the offers at the current market value they were looking for. So they're like, let's try this. Let's put it on for $1 and just see if somebody shakes loose an offer. Because the realities are this. Probably a bunch of people requesting showings, going over there, looking at the house. And then if I go to that house or you go to that house and you see all these other people looking at the house, you're going to be more tempted to get your pocketbook out and write them an offer because you see other people interested as well. That's why I always say if you come on above a property's value range in today's climate, and nobody comes over, it's crickets. You're like, well, this place is a ghost town. Nobody wants to touch this thing. They're stuck on the market. I don't want it. It shows horrible. And that's why FOMO factories are so dangerous. Those are those brand new developments that build the model units that you tour through that were designed under some think tank and you fall in love. You're like, I love it. I love it. And next thing you know, you're waiting a year for yours to be built. And by the time you get it, it's in the back 40. A sardine can, a FOMO factory, bubble buyers all over the place. Final thoughts. I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a real estate guy that wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understand the biggest artificially induced housing bubble ever witnessed in human history isn't going to sustain itself. We looked at a property today clearly that's looking for any way they can to get this thing off the market. That's a sign of desperation, my friends. That is a clear indicator of a turning point in these markets. We have a lot of people forecasting a downturn. Not only me, big heavy hitters. The industry itself wants to tell you no crash risk here, of course, out of self-preservation. The truth is usually somewhere in the middle. I would rather be prepared for something and have it not happen than have it happen and not be prepared. It's my job to protect us every step of the way because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It'd be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video. And there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. I'll see you on the next video.